All right, so today I'm here with my friend Heather, who has been a Highland Park resident for the last 6 years. And today we're gonna talk about all of the good and the bad things about living in Highland Park. And if you stick around till the end, she's gonna share her number one biggest piece of advice that she would let people know when they're moving to Highland Park. So stick around for that, and we're getting into it right now. Hey ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, I want to welcome you to the community. And if you want the most thorough, deep dive into all things Dallas, Texas, well, this is the channel that helps you do that. So go ahead and subscribe right now and tap the bell for notifications so that you can stay up to date on the current market in Dallas, Texas. My name is Jimmy Webb Jr. I'm a local real estate agent, born and raised here in Dallas, and we get calls and emails every single day from people just like you who are ready to make a move in Dallas, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about making a move, then give us a shout, shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, whatever way works best for you, and we've got your back when making a smooth move to Dallas, Texas. But like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm here with my good friend Heather. How are you doing today, Heather?
I'm so good.
Excellent. So you have been a resident for the last 6 years here in Highland Park, and so
Right.
you're a wife, you're a mother, you're very involved in the community, and so I thought you were a perfect candidate. And and so what we wanted to do today is really get your perspective on what is it really like to live in Highland Park, okay? We want the authentic stuff today, okay? So we're gonna start with the pros, and I know the first pro that you mentioned were the schools.
Yeah, absolutely. The schools are hands down the best. Most people you'll find move here because of the schools. It's like going to a private school. So yeah, we love it.
Yeah, the schools are one of the top ranked in Texas, if not the nation as well. I mean, people do really kind of move here. I mentioned in the vlog, if you want to check that one as well, just go to our channel and search in the channel bar over there for that. But that people will literally like try to get into apartments here just so they can send their kid. Like, it's like that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They want to make sure your proof of residency is like a big thing for the schools. Yeah.
Yeah. The athletics, too, you mentioned, are pretty strong. They're pretty strong.
Yeah. We have a great football program. My middle schoolers in. Yeah, lots of great athletics, lots of state championship titles. So
yeah, it seems like, so what they do here in Texas, if you don't know, football is king. And
absolutely.
So they play these state title games, either at the Ford Center, which is in Frisco, or at AT&T Stadium, the big old Jerry World Stadium over there. And so, that's kind of the prize if you make it that far. And Highland Park has been there a few times. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, the schools are incredible, but the second thing that you mentioned were there are lots of parks in Highland Park.
Yeah, it's called Park Cities for a reason. We have a lot of parks. Don't ask me how many, because there are a lot. But it's great. Lots of green space, lots of places to send your kid when you're needing some time. Go to the park. No, but it's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Lots of good places to chill and play basketball or tennis, whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I played on the tennis courts right over here. I forget the name of the park, but anyway. But so one thing that I like about Highland Park, I mean, Highland Park is a very established neighborhood. I mean, the trees are pretty big. Awesome. And so like one thing, if you don't know about Dallas, and you probably know this, but a little history lesson. So when Dallas first started, before the oil boom, everything was kind of south. Like Oak Cliff was the main neighborhood in Dallas. And then after, when we wanted to expand, everybody went north. And so Highland Park became that next kind of, really cool neighborhood to live in. And so you know, you've got all the big trees in here and everything. And yeah, they've done a really good job of, you know, mixing, you know, that pond, one that has the tennis court adjacent to it.
Turtle Creek, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so there's, I mean, it really is beautiful in here.
And Christmas time, you have to go look at all
the lights.
The lights, That's
Oh,
the best
man.
here.
Yeah, it really is. And so, third thing you mentioned was how safe it is in Highland Park.
Oh yeah. I mean, we still have some things, but mostly it's a really safe. They call it the bubble here for lots of reasons. There's access to everything, and safety-wise, we have our own police department, and so it's really nice to be here. And my kids are always running around all over the place. So everyone's kids are. So
yeah. You tell me the story, or tell them the story that you told me about how you couldn't find.
Oh, my son. Yeah.
But
when he was learning, like, he could be independent, he would go down the street, and one day I was trying to find him. It was like dinner time, and I went to the neighbor next door, and they said, "Oh, he was here about an hour ago." I was like, "Oh, okay." Go to the next neighbor. Well, he was here like 30 minutes ago. I was like, "Where is he?" So I think I probably knocked on 4 different doors, and then I realized, okay, this is actually kind of a great thing, but he needs to learn, he needs to learn to tell me where he's going to be. So yeah. It was just cool because, you know, I mean, all on our block, there's tons of kids. So yeah.
And they're all on their bikes all the time.
Yes.
I mean, it's
rollerblading's a thing right now. So yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of roller hockey when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. We had our own net, and oh man, that was my thing when I was a kid. But yeah, I might have to come play and, you know, body check somebody like I did my sister into the grass right there next to it. But yeah, you mentioned the police department. It's its own municipality here. So it's separate from the Dallas Police Department, right? So yeah, they kind of, I would say, I mean, they know Highland Park way better than a Dallas police officer would. I mean, do you get to know the cops at all? I mean, not really, I would say,
a whole
but
lot. I mean, familiar faces, but you know, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is the resale value in Highland Park is one of the best in Dallas.
Yeah, it's definitely an investment. I mean, even the land alone is, you know, very expensive, very coveted. So yeah, making a purchase here is definitely an investment, and it's just gonna go up. I mean, whatever you buy it at, it's just, even in this economy with, you know, with COVID and all that, people just kind of we even move around within Highland Park, just trying to upgrade or whatever. So, so it's hard. You have to get on it. Have a good realtor, get on it.
There you go.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's been said that Highland Park is the Beverly Hills of Dallas, if you will. You know, median home price here is going to be about 1.5 million. But the good news is, you know, you're really kind of setting some roots here when you move here. I mean, 83% of people own their home here, and so, you know, it really is, once you get in here, you're gonna stay. I mean, you mentioned the bubble, right? I mean, there's everything you could possibly imagine. You know, I don't know if we put this in the list, but the access to everything, you know, you've got downtown maybe 5-10 minutes away, and
best restaurants.
Some of the best restaurants in town in here, and so yeah, I mean, it's really you're in a really prime location here in Highland Park for sure. And so alongside of that, I think you know, the small town vibe is the last pro that you mentioned there.
Yes, so it's kind of like Mayberry inside of a giant city, which is a weird concept, and because you'll get to know everybody. You get to know everybody up at the schools and their kids, and you just become involved in their lives. So it's just, you know, but then, you know, you can go and have all the access to the restaurants and the big city vibe too, if you want. So it's a weird, it's a weird thing to think about, but it really is like a small city within a larger city, so.
Right, and we're gonna talk about some of the cons to that a little later, so stick around for that. But hey, if you're getting value from this, please tap that like button. And if you have any questions, drop those in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer those for you. But yeah, the small town vibe is, yeah, I mean, Highland Park is, it's very, you know, the Scots are, I mean, it's a thing here. I mean, everybody's kind of, when you're from Highland Park, it's kind of
it's a culture.
It is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think that'll wrap up the pros. Let's move over to the bad stuff. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So I really like a couple of the things, especially that you mentioned here. The first one that we want to talk about is that lack of diversity that we have here in Highland Park.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a thing. So there's not a lot of diversity. We would love to have more people of color here. Please move here. It's something that's always, like, if you're looking at the school district, it's, you know, it's the worst thing that we score on. So unfortunately, but we would love to have more diversity for sure.
Yeah, but I think that attitude is, you're not the only person who thinks like that. I mean, people, like, it's that just Texan, Southern hospitality. I mean, you want people like that so that you get, you know, I mean, I heard, you know, they cook up some nice stuff in other parts of the world. So, you know, when you have neighbors who can share dishes or bring stuff to the barbecue or whatever it might be, you know, that's always a plus. So, okay. Next was the parking here in Highland Park.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're dealing with a city that's, you know, hundreds of years old. So the parking's kind of old, some of it outdated. So if you love minivans, probably not for you. So
you're gonna be outside.
Tight spots and things like that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got a 2 garage back here, is that right?
So we know
it's
how
tight.
to get it in there. Like, that's it. Like, yeah. My husband's complained about the door dings many times by my kids. So.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, don't if you're thinking about getting a big big minivan or a truck or something, you might want to reconsider. Yeah. So the other thing is, you know, speaking of things that are close together, the lots are pretty tight as well, and maybe I'll show you some you know, some street footage right now of kind of what it looks like. But yeah, I mean, there are
yeah,
you know,
we love our neighbors, thank God. The other ones haven't moved in yet, but we know we'll probably love them too. But yeah, you can, windows kind of see into each other's houses a little bit, so it's a little on top of each other. I was joking about don't be a nudist, because anyway, but
well, you got some, I mean, the brush right here and the fence, obviously.
You create privacy, but you know, it's a little, if you're coming from a place where you have a little more space, it's a little bit different. But I think that's just part of living in a city too. You just are a little more on top of each other. That's kind of how it is.
Yeah, maybe, I think this is why they highlight park in the name, because if you want some space, you go to the park.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, go to the park, dear.
Yeah, nice little nudge there. Yeah. So, okay, next would be, the cost of living in Highland Park. Obviously, you're going to pay a premium to be in here, but, you know, I mentioned this, we talked about this in Southlake as well, that there's like a Southlake upcharge, right? Same kind of thing. The vendors know where you live when they get your address.
It's a real thing, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so the median income here is going to be $210,000, right? And so, you know, I mean, the average restaurant, I would say, is a little pricier. You know, just the different things that are around here are going to, you know, cost a little bit more, just because, you know, it's the area, right? And so the cost of living here is, you know, bring your checkbook. That's for certain.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Last con here is, especially for those new people moving here, it is, you know, there's kind of a code language as far as acronyms and things like that. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so it feels a little bit like people are speaking a different language when you're asking them, hey, where do you go to church? And they'll say, oh, I go to HPUMC or I go to PCBC. And you're like, what are they talking about? Or my kid goes to MIS. And you're like, what? Is that a school? I think I asked you about schools. Like, so you acclimate to this, you figure it out. I don't remember how long it took me, but yeah, everything's kind of abbreviated with these acronyms. HP is Highland Park, PC is Park Cities, and then they just kind of, so you figure it out, but it does feel like a foreign language. Yeah.
It's kind of like an insider thing here. But
Yeah.
the other thing is when people introduce themselves, you said they introduce like, oh, I'm on this block. You know?
Yeah. So that was kind of funny too. It was like, hi, my name is first name, last name, and I live on the 3000 block of whatever. And I would just think, that is a lot of information. Like, I don't know if I want to know all that. But you find out quickly, it's about a 50 block radius, you know, and you live within walking distance of a lot of people. So it's very close. Like I said, that small town feel is a real thing. And so you're like, oh, that makes sense. You live, you know, 2 blocks this way. And so it's kind of cool. So, very cool.
Would you say you know all of the streets in Highland Park?
I probably do. Don't quiz me, please. I'm directionally challenged. My husband does. He's the grid. I mean, he understands the grid, but yeah, I do. Like, you just generally get a feel for, oh, I know where that's at, you know? So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that will wrap up the cons. Not too bad, I don't think. I think we have some silver linings in there. But let's talk about what is your number one piece of advice to someone when they move to Highland Park?
Get involved in the community. There's so many opportunities, and getting plugged in is essential, probably in any community. But here, the YMCA, their sports program is wonderful, especially when your kids are little. That was something we did, and it was awesome. We met everyone. Soccer was wonderful. And then, volunteer at the school. They have so many cool programs, especially cafeteria duty. For, you know, whoever wants to be in the school, see what the kids are up to, meet their friends. Yeah.
I didn't know that about Highland Park. You know? I mean, I grew up here, I knew friends and everything, but I didn't know that piece.
Parents are in. My kids hate it now, but I love it. I'm a lunch lady, so
lunch lady.
Yeah.
Do you wear a hairnet and everything?
No, I do. We have to wear hats and closed-toed shoes, but it is not. It's not the old lunch lady. So, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, there you have it. The pros and cons from a 6-year resident. Hey, again, if you have any questions, you know, comment below. Or if you live here, or if you have lived here in the past and maybe we missed one, then please feel free to get in the comments and share. We would love that. And thank you so much for your time. You know, and you can also comment on Heather's onesie today. I think it looks fantastic.
Tell him it is a romper. It is
a
jumper.
Romper.
It's not jumper. We'll call it a
jumper.
Yeah.
Get it?
I don't know. Just not a onesie. That's a baby.
You gotta pick one.
Babies wear this.
Well, anyway, again, if you are thinking about making a move to Dallas, Texas, then we'd love to help you out in any way that we can. So again, you know, shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, and we've got your back when making a smooth move in Dallas, Texas. And until next time, we'll see you around town. You crushed that. Come on, girl.
It was good. I feel like my face hurts from smiling so much. I was like, oh God, I hope I don't look like a robot.
We had too much fun.
It was good.
I forgot we broke the rule on having too much fun.
We did? Okay, good.